I'm Tim Smith. I'm the University and Coffeehouse pastor at Seattle First Church of the Nazarene, and that boils down to me being the director and overseer of Mosaic Community Coffeehouse. So we really wanted to create a space that's for the community, as a way to interact with the community, as a way for the church to, be seen in a new light in our neighborhood. Prior to opening Mosaic, no one knew we were here. They just thought there was a big office building behind Dick's Drive-In that isn't really used. So having Mosaic was a way to give new life. And so we really wanted to create a space again where we could provide space for anyone in the community to come, which is evident in our pay structure, in that we're not your typical coffee house. So our pay structure is on donation, and so all of our coffee fare and pastries, it's all on donation. We really like that. It kind of stems from our nonprofit status, as well as our association with the church, and how the church historically has been run and funded. And it's a community-based thing. We rely on the giving of our church community to maintain the staff and the building and the ministries that we're doing. And we thought, what a beautiful way for our community to support one another and supporting one another in coffee. So it was a hard decision, but it was a good decision that we said, we're going to do it on donation, provide room for those who can to give a little bit more to offset those who can't. And we're coming up on 3 years, and we're still here.
Right on.
Staff. Our goal was to be truly volunteer run. But as we started getting into it, I'm paid as one of the pastors of the church, so my primary responsibility is overseeing the coffee house. So I'm here a lot. And then my wife also, when we started, worked full-time here. But at getting into it, we had about 10 volunteers at that beginning time. And we realized that there were times during the day that we needed more people behind the bar. There were times that we needed 2 people. There were times that, as a pastor, I have other responsibilities as well that I needed to take care of. So in realizing that, we realized we had to have some paid staff to be able to cover some of the hours and the shifts during the day when volunteers are doing their normal jobs or their normal day-to-day routine. Most of our volunteers aren't able to help out during the day. So we currently have 2 paid staff. Well, 3. My wife is now at part-time, and we have a full-time girl and a part-time girl that cover a bulk of hours, but we still heavily rely on our volunteers. If we had to pay people to be here the amount of hours that we're open to the public, we wouldn't. It would be much tighter. Yeah. But as you approach, you see a laptop, and then you see just to the side of the counter is the counter is raised, and we have a donation box mounted there, and it says donations right above it in Scrabble tiles, which we hear comments about a lot of good use of the Scrabble, since we have a few Scrabble boards out in the coffee house. We did that intentionally, of wanting it to be clear that we're trusting that the community is going to support us. We don't have to know what you're putting in, which is hard. It's hard for us, and it's hard for the public as well, that there's a trust going on. Now, people can and do give straight to us, and sometimes we put it down, and we have a cash register and stuff that separates it out. And if they're going to use a credit card, they tell us what to put on it. We have that capability on the laptop. But for the most part, we do deal in cash. Our first put off by us not having prices. However, we do have it is said that you can, if you have questions or need help, we can provide help. So we have a little price sheet that we can pull out that's suggested from our baker and our roaster. Sure. So the Girl Scouts, they meet here regularly, and they just last week asked how can they give back. They've been talking to me about maybe doing like how can they give back over the summer. I said maybe we could do a garden or something. We just kind of ixed that due to finances. But I said maybe you could help us weed this one area. It sounds like they're thrilled to do that. But then they came back later that day and said, how about each week we send 2 of the girls down and help clean the family room, Dimitas. And I'm like, sweet, that room, it gets really used and kids are hard on it. The toys need to be sanitized way more often than they are. What a great partnership that's being developed there. And we have things like that. The room that we're in right now is, we call it the den, and the decor was kind of heavier in that den feel, but it gets used by these businesses, and some of them are creative professionals who wanted to update it and give it a little bit more life. So they're in the process of that, they're having people who are going to donate either goods or their skills I know they're talking to an electrician to get more outlets in here, which is great. We totally need that, but we can't do it. But they're saying, you have blessed us by providing space. We want to again do that for you. We have skills that we can offer Mosaic that maybe you would love to have. And absolutely. And we've really rested in the fact that we can be involved in the community and supporting the actions of the community without having to do everything. I don't have to provide a tutoring system because I already have tutors who come in here from the community and do tutoring. I don't have to do a senior adult how to learn to use the computer because there's already that taking place in just providing the space. They're already coming here. And what we need to do better is how to connect all of those systems to promote one another. That's probably on my agenda for the coming months of how can we network what people are bringing and doing here to broaden that, to be able to offer it to those that don't know what's taking place and need some of that connecting points.
Right on.
Yeah. For a main room where we can have 70 people on laptops or in small groups talking, and we have a side room designated for families with kids because in our neighborhood there's not a lot of places. In Seattle, where when it's raining, a portion of the year to go out and be. So we thought we had this space that we could organize it in such a way that there would be room for the families and with the kids to play. And it's really nice that the door shuts so we don't always hear the kids in the main room. Then we have on the other side of the coffee house another room that we're meeting in right now, and it's designed for groups to come in and have larger conferences or meetings, and we have a big round table at it that just have a larger discussion, and it's also a quieter space. We don't have the speakers in here playing the ambient noise to block out the other conversations. So it was geared for small groups to be able to meet and community groups, and it's been a really good use from immediately as soon as we started. We had different co-op preschools that were able to meet here and have their monthly meetings, and we have different local organizations, nonprofits, as well as during the day, the businesses use it and help support us.